I just wanted a gazebo. A simple, no-fuss spot in my backyard to sip coffee in the morning shade or crack open a beer after wrestling the lawnmower. Nothing fancy: cedar posts, a bit of lattice, maybe a hook for a hanging plant. I could picture it perfectly, right there on that patchy grass between the wilting azaleas and the fence that desperately needed a new coat of paint. "Morning coffee out here, Lisa," I said to my wife, while VYing my arms like I was unveiling a masterpiece. "Maybe a little bistro table. We could even stick the grill under it. No more soggy burgers when it rains." Lisa, ever the realist, squinted at the spot. "It'd be nice, Tom. But the HOA. You know how Patricia gets." Patricia Whitaker, president of the Willow Grove Estates Homeowners Association, was a woman who seemed to live for the thrill of enforcing rules nobody else had ever seen. Her smile could make your skin crawl, like she was secretly plotting to fine you for breathing too loudly. I brushed it off with a laugh. "It's a gazebo, honey. The most boring, inoffensive thing you can put in a backyard. What's she gonna complain about? The fact it's made of wood?" Famous last words. The HOA application was a nightmare, like they expected me to submit blueprints for a nuclear reactor instead of a kit gazebo from Home Depot. It demanded exact measurements, material lists, color swatches for wood, of all things, and a site plan drawn to scale. My attempt looked like a kindergartner's sketch of a drunk octopus. They also wanted a written explanation of the gazebo's aesthetic contribution to the neighborhood. Aesthetic contribution? It's a gazebo, Patricia. It keeps the sun from frying my eyeballs and bird crap off my patio chairs. What more do you want? I grumbled, but I filled out every box, taped a wood chip to the form labeled natural wood tone, and wrote a flowery paragraph about how the gazebo would enhance homeowner relaxation and foster a serene community. VYB. I deserved an Oscar for restraint. I sent it off, feeling like I'd just handed over my soul for inspection. Weeks later, an email arrived. I had to present my case at the next architectural review meeting. The meeting was in the community clubhouse basement, a bleak room that smelled of stale coffee and broken dreams. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as Patricia sat at a folding table, flanked by her minions Larry, who always looked like he'd wandered into the wrong room, and Margaret, whose face seemed frozen in a permanent scowl. I pitched my gazebo like it was the second coming, passing around my sad sketch and the wood chip. Patricia picked up my application like it was radioactive. "Mr. Harper," she said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness, "we have concerns." "Here we go." She tapped my drawing with a manicured nail. "The roof pitch is approximately 30 degrees. Bylaw 7, subsection C, paragraph 4, states that shade structures must have a pitch harmonious with the primary dwelling, not exceeding 25 degrees unless approved for drainage." My house's roof was steeper than that, but before I could argue, Margaret piped up. "The location is too close to the Thompson property line. Bylaw 11 requires a 5-foot setback." "It's 5 feet," I said, a bit too loud. "I measured it twice." Patricia smirked. "This diagram lacks professional certification, Mr. Harper. And frankly, the scale seems imposing." Imposing? It was a Dulaw 600 gazebo kit. I pointed out that my neighbor, Ellen Thompson, had the exact same model. Patricia's smile turned lethal. "Ellen's gazebo was approved in 2016 under older guidelines. We've since adopted stricter standards. Progress, you understand?" The vote was a formality. Denied. I left that basement in a daze, the words, aesthetic disharmony, ringing in my ears like a curse. I called Lisa from the car, ranting about Patricia's smug face and the absurdity of it all. "Aesthetic disharmony? It's beige wood, Lisa. How much more harmonious can it get?" She tried to calm me down. "Maybe we tweak the plans, lower the pitch?" But something snapped. "No," I said, my voice cold. "It's not about the gazebo anymore. It's the principle." That night, I sat on the patio, staring at the empty patch of grass. The injustice burned. If I couldn't have a simple gazebo, what could I have? I grabbed my phone, searching for HOA loopholes, obscure structures, anything to fight back. Tree houses? Too childish. Bunkers? Too much digging. Then I saw it, geodesic domes. Glass-paneled spheres, sleek and futuristic, used for greenhouses or observatories. Most importantly, the word dome appeared nowhere in Willow Grove's bylaws. A grin spread across my face. It's not a gazebo, I muttered. It's not a shed. It's perfect. I showed Lisa the picture's shiny, sci-fi domes glinting in the sun. What is that? She asked, eyeing my phone like it was a bomb. Our new backyard feature, I said, maybe too enthusiastically. A geodesic dome. A year-round sunroom, an observatory, a plant lab. Her face went from confused to horrified. Tom, are you serious? It looks like a super VY Lane's lair. Smaller, I insisted. Think Epcot, but in our yard. She sighed. You're doing this to spite Patricia, aren't you? Spite's a great motivator, I admitted. But also, stargazing. Your roses will love it. I hadn't read the bylaws twice for nothing. Domes weren't mentioned anywhere. Lisa shook her head. This is gonna end badly, Tom. Or, I said, it's gonna be glorious. Finding someone to build a residential dome wasn't easy. Standard builders thought I was nuts. A greenhouse company said their domes were for plants, not people. An architect rambled about tensile principles until my brain melted. Just when I was losing hope, I found Rusty's custom builds online. The site was barebones, with a photo of a grizzled guy next to a weird shed. I called. I want a glass-paneled geodesic dome in my backyard, I said. Silence. Then a gravelly chuckle. Like Epcot? Smaller. Insulated for stargazing. Rusty grunted. This about sticking it to an HOA? My jaw dropped. How'd you know? Lucky guess. People get wild when the rule freaks nix their bird baths. Is it legal? Technically, yes, I said. Domes aren't in the rules. Sounds like a pain. Nosy neighbors, concrete work. But I like a challenge. He agreed to look at the specs. Rusty showed up a few days later, looking like he could bench press a truck. He paced the yard, kicking dirt, squinting at the house. Right here, huh? The sphere of spite. It's an observatory, I said weakly. He grinned. Sure. You need a 6-inch concrete slab, drainage, power for lights and climate control. It'll make noise. Neighbors'll notice. Especially. What's her name? Patricia Whitaker. Right. Trick is, pour the slab before she grabs her clipboard. Hard to stop what's already started. I liked Rusty's style. He quoted a price that made my wallet cry 3 times the gazebo's cost. I pictured Patricia's smug face. Let's do it. Operation Dome kicked off at 7 a.m. Monday. A concrete truck rumbled down our street, its beeper blaring like a war siren. Rusty's crew set up forms in the yard as neighbors peeked out like curious squirrels. My neighbor Bob, a lawn-obsessed retiree, wandered over. Big project, Tom? Bit early, no? Just a patio upgrade, I lied, leaning casually on the fence. Bob eyed the rebar. Looks like a bunker. Then Patricia's sedan cruised by, her eyes narrowing. Rusty gave me a nod. Phase 1 was underway. By lunch, the slab was poured, a gray monolith daring anyone to challenge it. The dome arrived a week later on a flatbed truck that barely fit our street. Crates of glass panels and metal struts teetered ominously. Rusty directed traffic like a mad conductor, yelling, "Watch the mailbox! Swing wide!" Lisa watched, pale. Tom, it's huge. Like a crashed spaceship. Isn't it majestic? I said, ignoring my churning gut. Unloading took hours, with neighbors whispering and snapping photos. The framework went up fast, a skeletal sphere rising like an alien artifact. By day 2, it dominated the yard, utterly out of place among the tidy lawns. Right on cue, Patricia marched over, clipboard in hand, Larry and Margaret trailing like grim shadows. "Mr. Harper, what is this monstrosity?" I took a deep breath. "Afternoon, Patricia. Just installing my freestanding horticultural and astronomical observation unit." She blinked. "Your what?" "It's not in the bylaws," I said, savoring the words. "So, it doesn't need your approval." Her face turned red. "It's hideous. It violates aesthetic harmony. Is that legally defined?" I asked calmly. "It's transparent glass. Very unobtrusive." Rusty strolled up, wiping grease off his hands. "Framework solid, boss. Glass goes in soon. All to code, ma'am." He patted his pocket, hinting at permits I wasn't sure we had. Patricia sputtered, snapped photos, and stormed off, vowing, "This isn't over." HOA letters arrived daily, citing unauthorized construction and due law 100 fines. I framed the first one and hung it inside the dome. Lisa thought I was losing it. Maybe I was. I added programmable LED lights around the dome's base, cycling through blues and purples. It looked spectacularly weird. Neighbors were splitsome, like Mrs. Larson, left muffins with a note saying, "Go Tom!" Others grumbled about property values. Ellen Thompson put up a "for sale" sign, though she claimed it was just downsizing. Then Patricia escalated. One evening, as Lisa and I ate dinner, blue and red lights flashed outside. 2 cop cars parked in front of our house. "She didn't," Lisa whispered. "Oh, she did," I said, heading outside. Officer Daniels, a tired-looking veteran, approached. "You Tom Harper? Got a call about a suspicious structure." Patricia Power walked over, phone out. "Officers, this man's building an eyesore in violation of our covenants." Daniels sighed. "Ma'am, HOA rules are CIVYL. Is this breaking city codes?" Patricia faltered. "Not yet, but any illegal activity inside?" the younger officer Lee asked. "Just stargazing," I said smoothly. Daniels glanced at the glowing dome. "If you've got permits, this is your problem, not ours." To Patricia, he added, "Take it to court." She looked ready to explode. "It's glowing." "So do Christmas lights," Lee said. The cops left, Daniels hiding a smirk. Patricia glared and stomped off. The final glass panel clicked into place the next day. The dome gleamed, a perfect, absurd sphere. Rusty clapped my back. "Solid as a rock. Don't throw baseballs at it." I stepped inside, the glass door sealing with a thump. The world went quiet, sunlight warming the air. It was ridiculous and mine. Lisa stepped in, cautious. "It's cool. Insane, but cool." She smiled. "What now?" "We observe," I said, striking a pose. "The stars, rare ferns, rainstorms." 2 days later, an email arrived. "Emergency HOA meeting, the Harper property issue." Patricia was going for blood, threatening legal action and forced removal. I scoffed, good luck moving 6 inches of concrete. But her mention of lawyers gave me pause. Then an idea hit, defiant and brilliant. "If Patricia wants a meeting," I told Lisa, "let's give the neighborhood something better." Operation Dome, Phase 3. We'd throw a dome-warming star party at the exact same time Friday, 7 p.m. We invited allies like Mrs. Larson, Rusty's crew, and posted a vague in VYT online. "See Maple Creek's newest marvel! Star party, refreshments 7 p.m. Lisa got on board, draping fairy lights inside the dome, setting up bean bags, and propping an inflatable alien with a chip bowl. I dusted off my old telescope and cued a playlist of Bowie and Star Wars tunes. By 7 o'clock, cars lined the street. Rusty arrived, grinning. Mrs. Larson brought cookies. Even some teens showed up, lured by the weirdness. Across the street, Patricia's meeting drew her loyalists, their indignation practically visible. Inside the dome, it was magical twinkling lights, the alien presiding over snacks. Rusty explained geodesic triangles to a rapt crowd. Then a shout. Harper! Patricia stormed in, Larry, Margaret, and a dozen angry HOA members behind her. Shut this circus down! She yelled. I stepped out, beer in hand. Welcome! Grab a brownie. Just celebrating innovation. Complaints erupted. Glare, property values, block sunlight. It's legal, I shot back. Show me the bylaw. Patricia shrieked. This blight is coming down. On what grounds? I challenged. Chaos reigned, shouting, finger pointing. Then a news van pulled up. Channel 8. A reporter and cameraman jumped out. We got a tip about a dome dispute. Patricia froze. Screaming on camera wasn't a good look. Before she could speak, old Mr. Jenkins, the neighborhood's quietest resident, spoke up. Karen, I've seen worse. Your pink flamingos in '98 took up half your lawn. This dome's barely noticeable. It's his property. Murmurs spread. Some nodded. The camera turned to Jenkins. In the chaos, Larry tripped over a hose Lisa had forgotten to move, landing in her prized azaleas. Patricia's fight drained. This isn't over, she muttered, but her fire was gone. She glared and left, her posse trailing. My guests cheered. To the dome! Rusty toasted. The news story painted me as the quirky dome guy, defusing the war. Patricia stopped the letters, avoiding me on the street. Ellen's for sale sign came down. But the dome had quirks. Summer turned it into an oven. I bought a roaring AC unit. Winter brought fogged glass, barely cleared by a comically long squeegee. Dinner inside echoed like a funhouse. Stargazing was mostly me fumbling with the telescope while Lisa read. The alien deflated, slumping sadly. Rusty VY sighed once, eyeing the dome. Rotating base? Laser constellations? We've hit peak absurdity, I said. Life settled into a weird normal. Teens snapped selfies with the dome. I was dome guy. One evening, as I sat inside, AC blasting, an envelope slid under the door. Another HOA letter. I braced myself. It cited my pathway lights too bright, violating lumen rules. I laughed, a deep, slightly crazed laugh. Lisa read it and grinned. Here we go again. The war wasn't over. Just a new, dimmer battle. And honestly, I was ready for it.